true crime podcast where best friends and next door neighbors, Willow and Lillian, spill the tea on murder, mysteries, and other things that go bump in the night. So get your favorite teacup ready and let's get into it. Welcome to Cruelty Podcast. This is Lillian, and with me is Willow.
Hello.
And it's still Female Serial Killer Month.
Yes, and it is
I hate saying female.
Female.
Ugh, sound like an insult when I do that. Lady or...
Most of these women are not ladies.
I ain't a lady.
That's true. Me neither.
I ain't sitting like one right now either.
I never sit like one.
No. My mama called it sit in common.
Sit in common.
Uh-huh.
I sit very bisexual all the time. Don't know how to sit right.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how to sit right. I sit like a fucking shrimp.
Yep.
And I'm wondering, like, at the end of the day, I'm like
a contorted shrimp.
Why does my back hurt? Well, you sat like a shrimp all day, idiot. That's why. Anyway, hi.
Hi.
I'm mad today for no reason.
Yeah, well, it's storming outside.
So, yeah, if you hear booms in the background, it's the thunder.
I love it.
Oh, it's full-on cozy time up in here.
It's delicious.
It is delicious. Like my dinner I just
This
made.
episode is not delicious.
No.
This is not a delicious episode. If you're eating, I'm sorry.
Don't. Put it down.
Big trigger warnings for gore, dismemberment, and cannibalism. And a lot of the trigger warnings are just kind of right out the gate. Like, so, yeah, just, you know.
Well, you put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Is that... Okay.
Put the trigger warnings in your pipe. And I don't know why I'm saying anything. I'm going to shut up.
Is that really where that saying is necessary?
Okay.
It's like plenty of fish in the sea.
Full disclosure.
What is?
I tried a psilocybin gummy.
You did not?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like an hour ago.
Jesus.
I feel fine. So I don't know if I'm mad or just nuts. So we're going to have a good
Well, that's where we are today. Well, this is the case of Tamara Samsonova, a.k.a. the real Baba Yaga, a.k.a. the Granny Ripper. So,
jeez.
Yeah. Baba Yaga, classic. Is it Russian?
Yes.
Or is it specifically? I didn't know if it was like just like Slavic.
Hold on. We're going to look on Google because I don't want to spread misinformation like an asshole.
I actually just didn't look it up because I was just like, oh yeah, Baba Yaga, like the evil witch in the woods with the chicken legs on her house.
That is rad. I wish I had that.
I love the trope. It looks really cool. But apparently she killed people.
Slavic folklore. So that'll include Eastern Europe.
I don't know if she was just an evil witch or if she was an evil witch that lured people in and killed people. But this one in particular did.
She did.
There you go.
But she can help or hurt those who seek her out for like maternal wisdom.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's like that folklore element to it.
Yeah, I like that. Now I'm curious. I'm going to go read up on it later, but not now.
Yeah.
Because that makes for poor radio. I'm just sitting here going, hold on a second, guys. I'm reading.
So yeah, this woman definitely did not help people and was not motherly in any type of way. No, not at all. So on July 26, 2015, in a public park in St. Petersburg, Russia, a couple was walking their dog when the dog alerted on what looked like a giant, thick plastic bag. As they got closer, they realized it was a shower curtain all wrapped up.
Well, I would not open it.
Many locals had visited the area previous days and had noticed it as well, but they paid it no mind because
they're like, I ain't opening that.
Yeah. Well, and especially in that area, people kind of just like minded their own business. You know, like I think even like with trash and stuff on the ground, they were just like, well, that's there. I didn't put it. So, you know, they just kinda,
I get you.
You know, keep to themselves. But the couple's dog was very persistent and made them question the contents. Reluctantly, they pulled the curtain back to expose, trigger warning, horribly mutilated, beheaded, and dismembered human remains, including a disemboweled torso and several limbs missing their hands.
Ew.
Authorities were called to the scene and later found a boiled head and boiled hands that were dumped in the pond nearby.
Jesus.
Because they were boiled, the police couldn't identify the person, and they did a survey of the area and kind of got like a head count to see if anybody was missing. The only person unaccounted for was 79-year-old Valentina Ulanova, who lived right up the street on Dmitriev Street. As they were talking to locals, several mentioned that they hadn't seen Valentina in days, but they did see her roommate, 68-year-old Tamara Samsonova, making several trips carrying bags.
Oh, dear.
They found this odd, so the police decided to do a wellness check on Valentina. When they arrived at her residence, her roommate happily greeted them at the door. Valentina wasn't there, but Tamara let them in to search. They found blood splatter in the kitchen and in the bathroom, and clearly a missing shower curtain was very likely ripped right off of the rod because the little hooks were still in place.
Okay. I have issues. All right. Why didn't you clean it up? Even
I think she tried. I mean, she is 68 years old, so.
I've known plenty of spry 68-year-olds.
I have a feeling she did not care in the slightest.
That's where I'm going. She just didn't give no fucks.
She gave no fucks because literally the police barely even questioned her about anything. They barely said anything before she just told them that she killed her.
She's like, I totally did. It was me.
Yeah. She was like, oh, yeah, I did that. Oh, that blood over there? Yeah, I did that.
So weird to me.
Yeah. And the police were absolutely stunned because they'd never expect this little old lady to commit such a gruesome crime. Tamara told them that Valentina had insulted her, so she had no choice but to kill her. And thus started one of the strangest murder investigations in recent Russian history. This case is wild. So Tamara was arrested, and police began trying to piece together what the fuck was going on here. And because Tamara didn't just live there, she had her own apartment. She had only been living there for a few months. So they soon found out that she actually lived right up the street from Valentina. Tamara had, I think, had only been living there for about 3 months. She said that while her apartment was being renovated. But come to find out, nothing was actually done to her apartment at all.
So she just wanted to live with some chick for no reason?
She actually told her friend that she needed a place to stay while they were renovating. Her friend introduced her to Valentina up the street, who was a bit older and needed a little extra help around the house. So they agreed that Tamara would help her in exchange for a room.
That would make sense if it were true that she was renovating her apartment, but she's not. So now it almost seems like she's looking for somebody.
Tamara later told the press that she was, quote, haunted by a maniac upstairs that forced her to kill. And then when she moved in with Valentina, all the voices went away. So,
but then you killed Valentina. So I don't.
Because Valentina was trying to get her to move out.
Oh, yes. I see. Because she was awful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, she was horrendous. She was just a terrible person.
I love the word horrendous because it has horror in it.
Yes. That really should be somebody's stage name. Horrendous.
Me.
Go for it. Bedazzle that shit. So amongst her things, they found stacks of books, mostly to do with the occult, dark magic, witchcraft, tarot, astrology.
Same girl.
Everything that we have, yes. Yes. But she also had a diary, or a memoir, I should say.
Oh, a memoir?
That she'd written in Russian, German, and English, detailing at least 13 murders that she later confessed to. The journals also talked about her use of magic and rituals in which she used parts of her victims. It also outlined a diet of human internal organs, including the intestines and, quote, lungs, legs, and heads.
I don't like that.
And Valentina's lungs were removed, and some of her internal organs were never found.
Oh, gross.
Major portions of her writings also, as well as major portions of her library, were all devoted to, drumroll please, Andrei Chikatilo. The Butcher of Rostov.
I don't like The Butcher of Rostov. I do not like Andrei Chikatilo. I hated covering that case.
I hated listening to that case.
So I'm going to summarize because in case no one's listened to it. It was one of our
first... It was the second month of this podcast.
It was in November, and I think it was like towards the middle of the month.
It had to have been like episode like 10 or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. Okay, so Andrei Chikatilo murdered and sexually assaulted children and ate them.
And he's the one with the needles.
No, that's Albert Fish.
Oh, right. Yeah,
Albert Fish put the needles in his dick.
I don't like that one.
Don't like it. It is gross.
Bad.
He also self-gratified by putting a carrot up his bum.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Weird guy, the Albert Fish. Don't like it.
But the Butcher of Rostov.
Oh, total monster. Like, you know,
Absolute.
when you guys know that I always say we should try and empathize with the victims and the killers so we can, because I think that's how we find out why these things happen.
Right.
Can't empathize with that. That's a demon from hell. Can't. If anybody on earth has ever been a monster, it would be Andrei Chikatilo. Just disgusting.
She loved him.
Well, she's monstery too.
Admired him.
I don't know how you could.
The media actually later dubbed her the female Butcher of Rostov.
I don't.
2 days after her arrest, Tamara had her first hearing. She seemed very calm throughout the entire ordeal. She even told the news crew, quote, "I knew you would come. It's such a disgrace for me. All the city will know." But she still smiled and waved and blew kisses at the cameras. She also made comments about how relieved she was that her conflict with her roommate had been resolved.
Well, I mean, that is going to get rid of the conflict. But Jesus fucking.
The conflict was a simple argument about like many roommates and partners have all the time. Who was going to do the dishes? Yeah.
Let me help y'all. If you ever run into this situation,
you do it. You just do it. You just fucking do the dishes.
Who did the cooking?
That's definitely like an old Southern staple.
Whomever did the cooking, don't do the dishes. That's fucked up. If you are a woman and you have cooked for your family and then your ass is in there doing the dishes, you quit cooking for them, ungrateful bastards. Now, if you both made little snacky times separately, you are responsible for your own plates. I don't know why this is a thing. Like, I don't know why there'd ever be an argument over dishes. It's simple. She just didn't know my way.
Girl, don't even get me started. So, yeah, well, that's at least what Tamara later said that the argument was about. She said that after that argument, Valentina was had offended her so much that she went down to the store and bought Valentina's favorite food. It was a type of Russian potato salad called the Olivier salad.
I'm intrigued.
I didn't actually write down the recipe, but it had a bunch of like stuff that people put in potato salad. I think there's like some fruit mixed in.
Oh, now we're fucking it up.
Exactly.
Now we're fucking it. Russia, come on.
I didn't really want to read the recipe because it didn't sound very good to me.
I'm going to look it up.
You go for it.
Thank you.
But yeah, so she went and got the potato salad and then she stopped by a pharmacy and somehow convinced the guy at the counter to give her a prescription for a drug that she didn't have a prescription for. She just somehow convinced him. It was the drug phenazepam, which treats schizophrenia, anxiety, insomnia, temporal lobe epilepsy, alcohol withdrawals.
Yep.
It's also used before surgeries to augment the effects of anesthesia.
This is true.
So most commonly taken for schizophrenia, though. Or just as like a muscle relaxant sedative. I've heard a lot of people use it as like a street drug too.
I was on it for a while.
I figured since it was an epilepsy drug.
Well, I was mostly on it for unrelated things. I was having a real hard time after my car accident.
Oh, yeah.
And I needed some strong stuff that also wouldn't interact with my epilepsy because I was taking trazodone and that didn't do well. Also, just so you guys know, the Russian potato salad actually sounds pretty bomb. I looked it up.
Does it?
Yeah. It does have carrots. I don't like that. I'd remove the carrots.
Didn't they put raisins?
Dill pickles in it. No,
I thought it had some sort of like.
Sorry for that reaction, but that's fucked up.
That's why I was like,
that made me
put off.
Gag
I know.
A bit. I don't like it.
I know, girl. But no, I thought there was like some sort of something in there that I didn't like.
Just the carrots don't go in there. It's weird.
So yeah, she took the potato salad. and the entire bottle of pills, over 50 pills, crushed them all up and put it in the potato salad.
That's going to make the potato salad taste like crap.
You would think, but Valentina ate it.
Well, when you do get older, your taste buds don't function as well. Mm-hmm. So it is possible. And you start losing bitter. Mm-hmm. The taste of bitter, you start losing.
Oh.
And and salt is another one that you become sensitive to as you get older. That's why older people eat a lot of bland.
Oh, that makes sense now.
Because they lose the bitter, but the salt goes up. Yep.
So Tamara had given her this food and then just went straight to bed. She was just like, okay, here's your dinner. And then she went off to bed and went to sleep. And when she woke up at about midnight, around somewhere between midnight and 2 a.m., she came into the kitchen to find Valentina on the floor. And she just began hacking away at Valentina's body. She dismembered Valentina while Valentina was still breathing.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I hope she didn't feel nothing.
I really hope she was unconscious and did not feel anything. I would assume so, having given that amount of that drug, but...
I don't know. No, I don't like that.
Mm-hmm. They even found CCTV footage of her carrying out large bags one at a time, very heavy, obviously, and putting them in the garbage bins. Then she carried out a full-ass soup pot.
Oh, shit. Come on.
The whole thing. And I mean, like, she looks like a little Russian old granny.
She does.
She has the little thing on her head with the scarf.
The babushka?
Babushka. And then the little raincoat. And she looks like just a sweet little old lady carrying some soup.
That ain't soup.
It's not soup, ma'am.
Not for my family, anyway. Sorry.
It's awful. So, yeah, and you could really tell that she was struggling with those big bags. In hindsight, you can tell she's getting tired of this. When the judge told her that she was being held on murder charges while they investigated the other alleged murders from her diary, she smiled and started clapping her hands happily. She was so excited to know that they were going to look into those other murders. She said, quote, "I have nowhere else to go. I'm a very old person, and I put the whole matter to rest deliberately. I have thought 77 times about it and then decided that I must be in prison. I will die there, and the state will probably bury me." So, yeah. Her last murder was definitely for show. Like, she strategically put those body parts there in the park so that way she would be found. It wasn't by mistake, and it wasn't just being sloppy. She did it on purpose. Tamara Samsonova was born in 1947 in a small town in rural East Russia, and as soon as she graduated, she moved to the big city of Moscow to go to Moscow State Linguistics University. So see why she translated her entire diary 3 times. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She was actually very intelligent. She was very, like, gorgeous when she was, I mean, she was gorgeous all growing up, but, like, I don't know. I saw old pictures of her. There's very few of her, like, in her 20s and 30s, and she was just drop-dead gorgeous model type. And, you know, as she grew up and she grew into the old person that we know of her today, she still just looks like... She doesn't look like an evil monster. She doesn't look like a serial killer by any stretch of the word.
No, she really doesn't.
At all.
She just looks like a little old grandma.
Right. I know. That's why it, like, makes it a little bit...
Well, Nanny Doss was like that, too. Mm-hmm. She had a plush figure, and, like, she had the perm and the set, you know, the curl and the set.
Which, might I add, so we talked about this off mic, but... so many times on this podcast, like with our research, we don't talk about what we're researching really.
No.
And so we kind of presented it like new and fresh each episode. But we were talking about how like the episodes and the research kind of like meld into each other.
They overlap for sure.
And I wasn't even here for the last episode because my son wouldn't go to sleep. And I just found it so interesting because I had no idea you were going to cover her. And I had seen like a documentary about her.
Yeah, she was good.
And I just found it really interesting that you did her. And then we were almost researching similar stories at the same time.
Yeah, and she had the little horn rim glasses. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And she looked so friendly.
The giggling granny.
Because she was always laughing.
That's terrifying.
And that is literally the scariest shit I've ever heard.
Terrifying.
No, thank you.
I do not like that like creepy horror where it's like, I'm cute and cuddly and gonna kill you.
I'm not into it.
Don't like that. So yeah, so she went to she went into linguistics. After she graduated college, she moved to St. Petersburg, where she met her future husband, Alexei Samsonova. In 1971, they settled into a newly built panel house at number 4 Dmitrov Street, where she'd live for the next 40 years. She worked as a travel agent, working her way up to the luxurious Grand Hotel Europe. She retired after working in the travel industry for about 16 years. In 2000, her husband, Alexei, went missing. When police inquired about this, she cried to them, saying that he had ran away with his mistress, ruining over 20 years of marriage. She seemed so heartbroken. The police felt so sorry for her and quit looking for him after that. But he was never seen again, and it's assumed that this was her first victim. It's likely that she dismembered him like the rest, leaving his remains to be taken with the garbage to the landfill and never to be found. But she will never confess to her husband's murder. Now 53 years old and retired, she began taking on lodgers and roommates for her spare room, both to keep her company and to, make a little side hustle money. In 2001, a man named Vladimir moved in. He soon found exactly how toxic Tamara was. By the end of the year, Vladimir had moved out after he had to go to the hospital for poisoning. Luckily, he survived, but he would be the only one that did survive. And he got the fuck out of there, thank goodness.
For real?
Yeah. He was like literally the only lucky roommate. Her diary would go into great detail of how she murdered and dismembered her tenants' bodies. One entry reads, quote, "I killed my tenant Vladya, cut him into pieces in the bathroom with a knife and put his pieces of his body in plastic bags and threw them away in different parts of the Frunzinsky district." She was very cold, very calculated, and absolutely ruthless. Before killing her tenants, she was a nightmare to live with, constantly yelling, banging on radiator pipes, generally causing as much trouble as she could to just about anybody around her. She would just pick fights with people and just be mean and aggressive, and she was just unbearable. Neighbors heard the constant commotion and swearing and assumed that as the old tenants left, new ones arrived, that they were leaving on their own accord, that they were, just living there for a short amount of time and then, running the fuck away. They had no idea that they weren't walking out those doors.
Yeah.
And since most of her tenants were men slightly younger than her from out of town and new to the area, none of them would be reported missing.
That's so sad.
None of them. Mm-hmm.
Well, they wouldn't be reported missing there because they weren't from there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They may have been reported missing from their hometowns.
But not there because nobody knew them there.
Exactly. There isn't an actual total number of roommates and very few actual names of potential victims, but the estimate is anywhere from 10 to 15, all the way up to 21.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah. One by one, none of them were seen again. She would later admit to killing 13 people, all in great detail, but never admitted to killing her husband, of course. Although police have said that they do have reason to suspect that she did kill Alexei. Other than the obvious pattern of events, it is believed that it might have been written about in her diary, but her full diary has not been released. Yeah.
Do you think that maybe she didn't admit to killing him because that's the one murder that she kind of feels bad about?
I doubt she feels bad, but
or that it affected her more deeply than the others. Maybe
that might have been her mental break.
Yeah, I kind of thought so.
It might have been like
maybe
a really,
she was really in love with him.
or maybe it was an out-of-body experience or something that she didn't really have control over. Yeah, she may have splintered at that point,
blocked it out. And a lot of people don't believe you block out traumatic events, but you fucking do.
Yes, you do.
I have huge gaps in my memory.
Yes, you do. Yes, me too. Absolutely, absolutely. So after the first hearing, police took her back to the scene of the crime at Valentina's apartment and had her show them exactly what she had done to Valentina, step by step on a police dummy.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I feel like this is really excessive.
This is excessive.
And she loved this.
Of course she did.
It was like a show and tell for her. Like
she was cheesing. They're cheesing it up for the press.
Yes.
And I don't like that.
Yes.
Cut it out.
Yeah, cut it out.
Shut up.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Screw you.
I'm sorry. But yeah, no, she loved every second of this. It was almost like a cooking show for her, or like a demonstration of like how good she is at it. Because again, she has possibly done this over 20 times, all the same way. So she was very proud of herself when she showed the police what she did to this dummy. Now, by the end of 2015, police were able to pin at least 2 murders on her and had plans to take it to trial, but she would never be convicted because she was deemed unfit to stand trial. She underwent a psychiatric exam. She was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, and it was determined that she was, in fact, a danger to society and herself. And she was placed in a mental health facility until further notice, possibly indefinitely. She is currently being investigated for 14 murders. There are a supposed 21 murders that she could be likely of committing from nearly 2 decades. So, yeah, sadly, she's not going to get a conviction. So these victims will likely never find justice. The majority of their families, of the victims, have, they have to live without closure for their loved ones because it's just not known for sure who she killed and when exactly she killed. Like, of course, she had that memoir outlining every detail, but we don't have the evidence to back that up.
Yeah, you can't just, I know a lot of people think confession is good enough, but you also need the circumstantial evidence, the forensic evidence.
All of it.
You've got to connect all the dots.
Exactly.
Because there's so many, especially serial killers, just really love them false confessions.
Right. They really like to sensationalize their crimes.
The attention is like them reliving it, is what I think.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
We should not buy into this garbage.
Again, she's very proud of what she's done. And I feel like, I'm sure there's more to it, but behind like her, magical side, or, if she's worshiping any deities, or if she's, whoever she's working with on the other side, there has to be some sort of, tie into the murders and pride and all of that.
I think so.
Absolutely. But yeah, I just feel really sorry for the families and, the people of the area that have missing loved ones. It reminds me of the Willie Picton farm and how, people still to this day that live in the area are like, was my loved one cannibalized on that farm? You know what I mean? Like it's
terrible.
It kind of creates, I don't know, like the whole entire community suffers from that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I think any violent crime, the community surrounding it is going to suffer.
Right,
sure.
But with this much question behind who's,
it's the unresolved, and we'll never know.
And
we'll never know.
Yeah, we'll never know. Now, I will say that there were random bags of body parts found all over the city. At various different times. They did find a piece of paper that had been ripped out of one of her spell books on one of the bags of body parts, like several years prior. And they were at the scene able to link that paper that was ripped out and matched it to one of her books that they found.
Oh, wow.
So, there are some, there is some evidence to link some crimes. I think that was one of the 2 that they were going to take her to trial for. But yeah, it's that part of the case is kind of a little bit extra sad.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, the closure isn't there.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Rest in peace to all of her victims, however many they may be. You know, we know that there was Alexei, we know Valentina, Vladya, and Vladimir.
At least for sure.
Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Because she could be making up shit, too. They do that.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. They're like, lying's like the least of the horrible things they do.
This woman dismembered human beings and ate them. I'm pretty sure she's capable of lying as well.
Yeah, exactly. That was my point.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's the real Baba Yaga for you.
Yuck. I didn't like her.
I don't, man, like the way that she talks about people, and it's just real gross. It's real gross. I do wonder what what the switch was that flipped.
Well, and, you know, unfortunately, because she's older and probably not forthcoming, and the information block from
we just don't know
Russia.
Anything about her life.
Yeah.
Like nobody does. Like there's no sources that talk about her upbringing. There's no sources that talk about her marriage to Alexei. Like we have no idea if he, you know, was a good person, was an abuser. Like we have no idea. So it does seem like she was probably the abusive one the entire time because of the way that she acts towards everybody else in her life.
Yeah, I just mean like her early childhood and stuff. I'm always curious.
Oh yeah, because that's usually
especially
where something stems
with
from.
Serial killers.
Yeah.
I get really curious.
I haven't heard of a single serial killer that didn't have something in their childhood.
Yeah, well,
from what we know.
I mean, the last one, the Letby case.
Oh yeah, she didn't, did she?
No, I think her parents were too permissive, but there are lots of very permissive parents and parents who spoil.
Yeah.
And even parents who kind of violate emotional boundaries by being a little too close to their kids, you know?
Right.
Like mama's boys and mama's girls and stuff. Usually these people aren't criminals or violent in any way.
Yes.
So while I wanted to make that clear too, so I'm glad we brought this up, that I'm not saying her parents even did anything wrong.
Right.
That's just their parenting style.
Right.
Did it damage her? I don't know. I don't think it damaged her so much that she went on to kill babies. I don't think so. I don't want anyone to like take that as me accusing the parents. I'm super not. It's not their fault.
Right.
It's not their fault. I think some people are just born messed up, man. They got some issues. It just happens.
I know that there's, you know, that conversation is brought up a lot in true crime for obvious reasons. And, you know, it's really hard for me to grasp the idea that someone can just be born evil. I always want to find a way.
I'm the opposite.
They are made.
I think, because to me, I've experienced so much trauma and abuse that I'm just like, I wouldn't kill anybody. I have a hard time. I couldn't kill an animal for food. I'd just die.
That's true.
So like,
that's true.
And I'm not saying like my trauma gave me other issues for sure,
Mm-hmm.
but it didn't make me violent in any way.
Yeah.
It made me the opposite. And I know so many people with our same story where they had a very abusive childhood, but they went on to be very loving people. So I think it's a combination usually, but I think there's something.
Do you think
wrong.
it's more of like a spectrum?
Yeah. I think it's more or less that they're born, something's not right. Some disorder's already present, and then you heap on abuse and other things, and that's kind of what flips the switch. Yeah. But now I'm going to flip the switch and turn it over to business time. Wow, that was a good one. I'm happy with that one. That was a good one. I'm gloating.
Proud of you.
I don't have any brain, so this is going to be short.
Hey, we have a merch that says
brain is soup. Brain is soup. My brain is beyond soup. It's vapor. There's nothing left. I'm just empty-headed and dumb today.
She left it boiling overnight.
I sure did. It's just I've been through a lot.
Yeah.
And my car breaking down, and I've just been very stressy. I'm fine now, but like, The thing is like, I'm one of those type of people who are in a crisis. I am garbage. I'm not any good. But afterwards, I'm great. And Maris is the opposite. In a crisis, he is the best. He is the most steady. And then afterwards, he's like, and I'm going to go die and be crazy for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of where I've been. So I apologize if I've seemed kind of spacey and like out of my gourd.
I've been in shell shock for like a month now. I'm just not coming out of it.
Yeah, that's true.
As of recent, but yeah.
We're here.
If you haven't been following us, life is just crazy. I'm sure it's that way for you. I know we're not unique in any way.
Oh, no.
I know we're all going through it. But yeah, brain is soup.
Brain is soup. So we have a Patreon. Go check it out.
Yes.
That sounded mean. Go check it out because we put out 3 to 4 bonus episodes every month, and these are full-length episodes.
Yeah. We did a poll for my next episode, and there's a tie.
So get in there and vote.
Yeah, because I have to make a decision. I'm not good at making decisions. Actually, I think I know which one I'm doing. It's fine.
Are you good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have a tier for everybody with awesome rewards. So go check that out. Moving right along, we have merch. Is your brain also soup? Because all the retrogrades at once
Let
made
everybody
you stupid?
know by
just
buying
tell
stuff with
everybody.
it.
Then people won't say stuff to you. They'll say, "Oh, shirt."
That'd be a really good coffee mug too.
Brain is soup. We don't know anything. Don't talk to me. I can't help you. I can't have thoughts. I can't think through all the liquid. Yeah. So yeah, we have all kinds of cute like cruelty merch in there, and we're about to have some more because I've been working on several new designs. I'm working on a Halloween design.
Yay!
Because I wanted something really froofy and like Halloweeny and
For our third season.
fuck fighting.
I'm just like, I'm still appalled. I'm not appalled.
That's a weird word choice.
I don't know. I'm just flabbergasted.
It's also a bit strange. Let's move on. So I make soap. And you can go ahead and talk about how cute and smelly they are in a good way. Not stinky smelly, but yummy smelly.
See the things that she puts on top of the soaps, too. Like the little decorations and stuff. It's
little
so
spiders.
Cool. Little spiders, little pumpkins.
Little pumpkins.
Little,
skulls.
like iridescent bubbles.
Yeah.
That was a good touch. I like that.
It was a good
one.
touch. I'm so smart.
I'm so smart.
Yeah, they're so cute. I have all different kinds. And if, like, I have apple cider, cucumber melon, rose and oddwood. What was it? Pumpkin spice latte. I just finished that one.
Didn't you do the
so
whipped
cute.
cream?
I scented it with Earl Grey fragrance.
So smart.
And it smells so fucking delicious. Let me tell. I could eat it, but don't. It's soap.
Do not eat.
Also, I want to talk to y'all for a minute. Come here. Sit down. My soap occasionally looks like food because that's funny and it's cute, right? But we know it's soap. And so invariably, when I post pictures on Facebook, some penis having person will say, I was like, does anybody ever eat it?
Actually, one person has. Mateo.
Oh no, I had somebody buy it and take a chompy bite out of it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and they said didn't taste good. And I'm like, yes, because it's soap.
God. No, I have a preserved piece of soap because Mateo's little baby teeth.
He chomped
it perfectly. Like, yeah, that's how I have it saved. Yeah. I had no idea an actual full-bodied human adult
bit it. Yeah, and they sent me the picture with a bite taken out of it, and I was like,
if you're listening to this, good job.
I'm not mad about that. That's okay. And I'm not mad about the it looks like food jabs.
Right.
But it's annoying, right? And then I also get, it's too pretty to use. No, it's not.
I know I've said that. I know just about everybody has said that it's too pretty to use.
No, it isn't.
It is gorgeous. But you have to use it.
That's the point. It's temporary art. I love making the everyday thing special and beautiful. So every time you get in your bathtub, you feel like a little pretty princess in there. Male, female, otherwise, everything in between. Everybody deserves to feel like a pretty, pretty princess and smell good. You rub it all over your titties and your butt. That's where it's supposed to go.
Oh my God. You don't use a washcloth?
I do. I use both.
Okay.
I soap up first. And then I exfoliate gently in little circles with the washcloth. Now y'all know my bathing habits. But some bits don't get a washcloth, like my kitty bits. That was with my hand.
It's delicate down there.
Jesus Christ. Something else that's really great about the soap.
Want to toughen up your pussy?
Oh my God.
And be like
stop
leather
it.
flaps.
Jesus.
You asked for it,
I
bitch.
did not ask anything at all. I asked no questions.
You ask for it when you act a certain way.
Soap is so good.
I know. It is good though. So
It smells really good.
I started making soap because I have eczema.
That's nice.
Yeah. Well, and I wanted to make, and store-bought soap was too harsh.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? Like I do with everything, I'm like,
I'm gonna make it.
Fucking make it myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I spent about a year learning how to make soap. You're welcome. Now you can experience all my hard work and learnedness. So yeah, I have many different scents and designs, but you're going to want to pre-order them, and I'm going to tell you why. Not because
She's almost sold out.
I'm already. I won't have anything to put on the website at Halloween. I'm just like, sorry, I did make soap. It's gone now. But I did something cool this year.
What'd you do?
A secret soap.
A secret soap?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't even tell me about it.
No.
Oh, it's secret.
It's fucking beautiful. It's maybe one of my coolest designs I've ever made.
Are you saving it for launch, or is that a pre-order?
If you pre-order it, I promise you will love it. And if you don't love it, I'll refund you, but you will. Order the secret soap.
Order the secret soap.
It's very femme in its scent presentation profile. So if you don't like flowers like lily of the valley, jasmine, rose, sandalwood, frankincense.
Oh, I love all of those things.
It smells so fucking good.
Oh,
And these are all hand blended. You will smell unique. And I'll send a little perfume oil with it.
I was just about to say, that sounds like a great perfume oil.
You betcha. Order the secret soap.
Y'all order me one.
I ain't even going to give you one.
She's not going to give me one.
No, I'm not.
Order me one.
I'll give you
That'd
a
be
little
nice.
end bit.
Give me an end bit.
I'll give you a little sample size.
Okay.
All right. So, yeah, that's my soap. Me and Willow are getting ready to launch some jewelry, and some of you have done as I instructed. Is if you're interested, you've messaged me, and I've shown you pictures of what we've made so far. Listen. Just message me. I could describe it, but it would take forever, and I don't have a brain.
I'm so excited. We'll talk about it on another episode.
Yes.
Because I'm currently working on I have so many pieces prepped right now.
You're doing good.
I'm so proud of myself.
You took to it really well.
The first piece I made plated perfectly.
Yes,
I
it
was
did.
like,
So shiny.
girl.
So shiny.
I didn't fuck it up. Not only did I not fuck it up, I did good.
You did do good.
Yeah. So, y'all look out for those. I'm just beyond excited. We have so much stuff coming.
You know what else I'm excited about? Doing more tarot readings. I just finished.
You're
I had
so
a
good at it.
whole bunch over the last week, and I just finished all of them. So what does that mean? I want some more. Mm-hmm. So what kind of tarot readings do I do? Okay, and if you don't even know what tarot readings are, you draw cards and they represent certain things. That's all. And these have a universal meaning. Like I go with a Rider-Waite tarot. That's just the traditional tarot that I use. Yeah. So they all have meanings, and I give you my personal interpretation. And there we go. Now, for a general reading, I don't ask you any questions. You just give me some dollars. I do your reading, and I send it to your email. People find that they are very uncanny, like they don't even know how I know all this about you. So it's really cool. If it's your first foray into tarot, I recommend a general reading first. It's a good way to establish kind of a relationship with your reader too, like the person reading cards to you.
And she's so good. She reads for me every day, pretty much. And
sometimes I just message you like, "Don't."
She did, and I said, "Okay, I know."
I think you did anyway.
I didn't.
Were you good?
Yeah, I was good.
Okay, good.
Yes,
good,
I
good,
did
good.
I've been listening to you lately, and
That's new.
Yep. I'm turning a new leaf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listening to me is always a good plan. I also do relationship readings, health readings, and financial readings.
And I know we just got through the Mercury retrograde, and we have several other planets in retrograde, including Venus. Is Neptune in there?
Surely. Saturn was.
I
don't know if it still is. It might be.
Girl, howdy. So, I mean, with all of these retrogrades and with all this bullshit going on in the air, and everybody's going through life changes and all this stuff, it's good to get some clarity so that way you're not anxious all the time. Or
they're really reassuring,
It's very reassuring.
And kind of validating.
It's
you know
very
what I mean?
validating because pretty much any tarot reading that I've ever had has always been confirming what I already know.
That's always how it goes.
It's really great. It's good for your mental health.
I agree. And it's always nice to talk to somebody about It's a fun way to experience witchy stuff without getting in too deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. And it's the season for spooky stuff. So get you a tarot reading from me. Running a special on them. I think as high as I'm charging is $20. So
there you go.
Message me. We'll set it up. You can email me, lillianasterius@icloud.com. And if all of that was like, how the fuck do you spell any of that? It's in the description. You can just copy paste. That's what I do. Anyway, that's all the bandwidth I have. I'm now done and stupid, and I must go lay down.
Yay.
But if all you can do to support this podcast is listen, please know how much I appreciate you. I've received some like really lovely messages today that really touched me, and I want you to know how much that means to me. And I thank you so much.
Seriously.
And it just like, I cry.
Yeah.
I cry.
I think about you guys all the time.
I feel so undeserving. So I try to like live up to the hype, you know? That's what I try every day.
Every day.
So, yeah, and I'm going to awkwardly
love y'all.
Back away from the microphone. Good night.
Us on your social media platform of choice. Linktree/cruelty has all of the links. Check out our Patreon for exclusive episodes, merch, ad-free episodes, live ghost hunts, and much more. Please be sure to subscribe. New episodes are uploaded weekly. Thank you so much. See you next time. Music and production by Libby.